Oh, this is simply incredible. Ron Killings, R-Truth, and his son, Christopher Killings, just ended Paulnocchio Levesque McMahon. Paulnocchio! Levesque McMahon, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, went into a media scrum last night, post Money in the Bank, and he tried to make everybody believe that this was all part of the show, all part of the plan all along, all a story, all a work. Paulnocchio said, "Did you enjoy the show?" It was all a part of the show. That was a quote from Paulnocchio when he was asked about R-Truth's return. It was all part of the show with that little smug look that he gives, like he's got all the answers. Like the master bullshitter is serving up his bullshit salad and everybody is asking for seconds. There's just one problem with that. The community ain't buying that bullshit salad this time. And this time, R-Truth is throwing Helmsley under the bus. He don't care if that's his boss or not anymore. He knows he was done dirty. And when a fan who has access to 140 characters somehow said, "Man, we all got work, that was awesome," R-Truth, Ron Killings, said, "No work." He fixed that. He stated the legit truth. No work. This was as real as it gets. You guys made it possible. I have re-signed a new contract because of you guys. This was not a work. R-Truth called out Helmsley's bullshit moments after that media scrum. But the best part was his son, Christopher Killings, posting up that part of that media scrum. And Helmsley trying to bullshit everybody. It was all part of the show. And Truth's son, Christopher Killings, said, "Stop the cap. Stop the cap." For those that don't know, that means quit lying, bullshitter. For those that don't know, that means stop exaggerating the truth. And then immediately after, Christopher Killings, the son of R-Truth, Ron Killings, said, "Congratulations, Dad, on the new contract." That's what happened here. He got released. TKO said, "We got to cut some contracts. It's all up to you, Helmsley. Whoever you don't need, whoever you are okay getting rid of, let us know. Let's do the deed." Helmsley said Carlito's expendable, Sarah Logan, couple other names, R-Truth. He's only good for backstage segments. He's our comedy relief. I can do without him. So Helmsley thought it was going to go unnoticed or at least swipe it underneath the rug. Massive fan backlash to the likes we've never seen before. We have never seen somebody get released and this much backlash to it. To the point where TKO, and I said this in last night's review that went live for everybody early this morning a few hours ago. Channel members got it late last night. But in that review, before I even found out anything about this, I said this reeks of TKO going to Helmsley and saying, "Dude, we gotta correct this. You gotta bring Truth back." This was not Helmsley's decision. Absolutely not. TKO, Nick Khan. And there's a story, a report going around that Nick Khan had to get Truth back. Truth was pissed at Hunter Helmsley for doing him filthy. And I don't blame him one bit. I said it in last night's vid, in the facts that we're getting today is that TKO, more specifically Nick Khan, had to do the reaching out to R-Truth. And that brought him back. And then Helmsley tries to sell it off like it's a work. Part of me doesn't even blame him. You got to try to save face. I don't think Helmsley realized R-Truth isn't playing around with him anymore. R-Truth is legit pissed off. He feels he was done filthy because he was. And if there wasn't this fan backlash, Truth would be out of WWE. Reduced to nothing more than a comedy sideshow act that no longer made Helmsley laugh. So he got kicked to the curb. But because of the fan backlash, brought back. And this dude sat in that podium in front of that mic and said, "Did you enjoy the show?" Well, this was all part of the show then. This was all part of the show. Instead of just going, "Listen, we messed up. I'll take the L on that one. Our fans, that's how passionate they are. They made the right call clearly. And we brought it back. We make the mistakes. We'll correct them." There's ways to handle that. This is a media scrum. He loves to pull back the curtain. All of a sudden, we're going to act like this was all kayfabe. It's all a work. But R-Truth stood up last night when a fan said, damn, we all got worked. And Truth is like, no work, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. And then his son, Christopher Killings, tells Paulnocchio Levesque McMahon, stop the cap. Stop bullshitting, stop lying, stop exaggerating, you fucking turd. I don't know how the wrestling community is not done with this dude's bullshit. A snake in the grass would be an understatement. How many people has he stabbed in the back or said, hey, you're doing great with a handshake, and the second they turn around, they get hit with the golden sledgehammer? How many wrestlers and fellow brothers, I'll put that in quotes, has he thrown under the bus, acted like they're friends, and then the second he gets in the office with Vincent Kennedy McMahon, those careers were finished, and now he's got all the power? I am so proud of R-Truth and his son. They're doing things differently this time. They're not going to play the nice guy who's just going to take all the bullshit given to them. They know that they have the cards now. They know how they should be treated. They know how beloved he is. And for Christopher, how beloved his father is. Truth knows he's much more special of a talent than what WWE allows us to see or allows him to have. The people that are claiming that this is a work, they don't know. And I always say that's most likely your kids with the somehow obnoxiously with access to 140 characters. But their kids don't even bother going back and forth on the online doohickey machine. You're arguing with kids more than likely. Nobody over the age of 12 thinks this is a work. Because you think with logic and common sense, who's getting worked? Truth announces he got released, so he makes it harder on himself to attack John Cena at Money in the Bank. He could have just been backstage and ran out there and attacked Cena, but instead he's got to sneak through a security, sneak into the building, jump a barricade in a hoodie, do the attack, and quickly get out. Why? He's still under contract for another week and a half, even if he didn't resign. This was not a release. It was his contract coming to an end, and WWE decided that they were not resigning. You're not even, these fans that claim it's a work aren't even thinking, what did the work lead to? It didn't make any sense if it was a work. All of this was just for Truth to attack Cena after a random match? If it's a work, it didn't make sense. If it's a work, it didn't work. But nobody wants to think, oh man, we all got worked. Nobody got worked. This is a real story, man. You're not even making sense. What about Carlito and Sarah Logan and the other two names we're hearing about? And we only know that there's two others. Maybe there's even more. All of them announced on the same day, or again, the two that have not announced, but Sarah Logan, Carlito, R-Truth, they all announced. They just were informed by WWE they're not being re-signed. The fuck is the work? Where's the work? If WWE had an elaborate work, that was it. R-Truth, attack after a match. Whoa! We got shenagled! This was brilliant! No, it wasn't. And if that even was if they even tried to do something like that, how heartless and soulless to make a story out of people that are actually losing their dream jobs, like a Carlito or a Sarah Logan or the others. And you chose that time, I'm going to make a story out of this. So even if that was to ever be a scenario, you got to read the room. That is tacky and absolutely pathetic. But thankfully, we don't even have to go that route. This was clearly never a work. Again, don't even try to argue that with people. That's people that don't understand the business, guys. So they're just in the wrestling thing and they're just like, everything's a work to them. Just let it be. Shawn Ross has been on this too. Props over to him. He's been on top of this, man. He spoke to a lot of people since the return last night, and he has not heard from one person that even believes that this was ever a work. And those people are talking to Truth Post. They know how pissed Truth was when this all unfolded. So, no, This is as real as it gets, and Truth made sure to be like, dude, no, because that makes Truth look bad. That's why a lot of people are like, damn, man, Truth, you had everybody like fucking, everybody was behind you, and this was a work, and Truth is like, dude, no way, bro, I'm not gonna take another fall for this shithead. This dude wants to get on a podium and act like this was all a work. It's gonna make me look like a fucking idiot. So Truth is like, fuck that. I'm throwing you under the bus. They're gonna know the truth. This was not a work. So I'm so proud of R-Truth for standing up for himself and not just trying to make his boss look good, being a good soldier anymore. Because just being a good soldier will have you laid out on the battlefield sometimes. And I'm so proud of his son who had to watch his dad go through that and knows how much his dad did for that company. Every time they said jump, he said how high. Did everything they asked out of this dude. And to be treated like that and then kicked to the curb. So when his son saw that and saw the love for him, and then all of a sudden WWE came crawling back, they had to bend the knee back to R-Truth. The power, because of all of us, by the way, the power went back to the talent, even if just for one day, even if just for one talent. The power went back to Truth. And he saw that from his father, and he saw that love, and he said, dude, just to see his dad get a new contract, because that's what happened. They said, you know what? We TKO told Truth, we made a mistake. Nick Khan said, we made a mistake. We need you back. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, if I'm R-Truth, you stick it to this dude nonstop. Because that may be your boss in title, but in every other category, he's nothing more than a snake. And I wouldn't trust anything he has to say at face value or any value. There is no value in the words that Hunter Hearst Helmsley speaks. There is no substance in the word salad that he spits every time he opens his mouth. Hunter Hearst Helmsley finally got exposed for the absolute fraud that he is. At that podium, at that media scrum, all part of the show. No, you tried to do somebody filthy, you got caught red-handed, we said no, we reversed your stupid decision, and now you stand there, or you sit there, and you take your fucking L. Props to R-Truth, Ron Killings and his son Christopher Killings, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paulnocchio absolutely got ended by the Killings. That was fucking awesome. Until next time, and there will be that next time, the Amplified Man saying check you.